See. I'll just wait for a couple more people to join. All right, good morning, guys. Today is Friday, May 19th, and as usual, we'll be going over analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. So right now, the only trade I'm in, so I'm testing this out. I'm not really going for 100. I know I have 100 pips TP and 100 pips stop loss set, but for this trade, when I looked at the left, I saw this trend to the upside. So this right here is a static trend line. So I expect gold to at least touch 1956.80. So again, this is not an official trade. It's just a trade that I'm testing out to test out this static trend line. However, gold is bearish. So for me, this position, I just aim to exit once it touches 1957 area. So it's just and I know we just got like a sell signal for gold on the 15. Yeah, so this for me is just a trade that I'm testing out, but I will exit on the retest of this trend line. Yeah, so today, given that we are also not even doing the live session for that long, I have to step out in about 30 minutes. So today is ideally like a questions day from you guys. I'm already up like, what is it, 2%, 3% for the day. So I took the reversal on gold yesterday. I did mention that this was a trade, and I did say it would be an official trade with a 0.5% risk. So I entered this buy on gold yesterday at the bottom here. The TP was 100 pips TP and 100 pips stop loss. And there you go. This trade had ideally no drawdown. And there you go. The trade ended up hitting full TP for a gain of about 0.5% gain for the day. So yesterday we should be up about 0.5%. The other trade that I was looking for is that I sent out was Euro CHF. I think it was a buy. So if we go back to the scanners, so this is still the trade. The trade went into drawdown, came back a little bit into profit. But right now, this is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see closure below this zone right here. So below, you see, we also have a sell. So another way to also exit a trade out early, if you're in a buy based on the breakout scanner or breakout indicator, if you get a sell signal, remember, a sell signal will come up if price closes ideally 50 pips also below your moving average. So at this point, I would be looking to cut the Euro CHF trade. Also, given how some of these minor pairs move, they barely have liquidity in them and just have a bunch of consolidation. I might just stick to taking the highly liquid FX pairs. So like EU, AU, GJ, UJ, probably. So ideally the major pairs. And if it's a minor pair, something like maybe GJ or something. So yeah, some of these other slower moving pairs, I might just not be taking them because you can see the trade was in and out of profit, drawdown profit. And at this point, we even got a sell signal, a sell breakout. But analyzing this still on the high time frame, Euro CHF is likely to still reverse. So just for this particular case, just for looking at structure, you know, the last time price was anywhere down here, 91.47 or 97.064. 97.064. Yeah, so I'll still hold on to this trade, but starting next week, I'll start reconsidering taking breakouts on some of these minor pairs because they just move so slow and don't have any liquidity. This morning I took a breakout on USD, US 30 actually. US 30, I secured half and I set break even. The opening candle took me out at break even. The reason I took this trade, this is the buy I took this morning. The reason I took it, so what, 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. The reason I took this buy was, give me one second, let me see something. What if I went for 50? I know it could have hit, but I want to see how far my stop loss would have been. Yeah, I want my stop loss to be below that zone to the bottom. The reason I took this is because it's a Friday, right? So US 30 has, since yesterday, I think this was 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday, and it shot up. So most people would be trying to catch the sell here. But I know that, I knew this was a Friday, and more times than not, I've blown accounts trying to catch reversals on Fridays. So what I did here, when I saw this buy, I said, hey, as much as it's at a high and there's structure to the downside, right? You also need to know what day of the week is it. It is. So today is a Friday. What do we know about Fridays? Price is more than likely going to keep to catch a trend and keep going with that trend. So I took this buy on US 30. Went in with a huger lot size. I secured half here and set break even. So for this trade, I got taken out at break even, but I already secured like, I think 0.5% on that trade. Yeah, so that's, and then I took, what's the other one? I know I posted it in the Discord. I think I took OddCAD yesterday. So same time I normally ask you guys to look out for these trades. So I took it mid-Asia. So I think it was 9 p.m. Took this about 10 hours ago or something. So took this buy yesterday. And then for me, it did hit profit. Looks like the trading view charts might not be the same as my MT4 charts, but I already got out. If you look at the trades that I sent here, you can see OddCAD already hit TP. So I went for a 40 pips TP, 40 pips stop loss. I made a quick 0.25 or 0.2% here. And then that US 30 trade made a quick 0.25%. So beginning next week, since we already have these strategies, my strategy, my trading strategy starting next week. This is just a trade I'm in. I'm going to exit once gold reaches 1956. So this is not an official trade. I'm just testing out this static trend line to the downside. So I do so gold is still bearish for now. I do expect price to retest this. However, if we do get around this, past this lower high, if it closes above that, I will close that trade. Yeah, but it's not a trade I called out. So for now, honestly, I expect the trends to continue. So I expect US 30 to keep pushing to the upside. However, we do have a death cross forming on the 5-minute time frame, possibly a death cross forming. EU as well. For EU, this is what we have. This is, I really don't even like the trend line on EU. So possibly something like that. Yeah, anyway, today I'm not really looking to take any trades. Today is a day for you guys to ask any questions. So I'm already up like 3% for the day. But for me this week, one thing I've realized is find a strategy, test it out like for a week or two, find the win rate, and if you get that entry going forward, just go ahead and take it. Don't be worried. I found myself, having all these strategies, and this week, given that I'm also working on my E and testing it out, so I needed to come up with a strategy going forward on how I'll be taking all these trades. So going forward, what I've decided, probably take one trade on the live session, 2 trades based on the breakout scanner, and one trade, we don't get reversals every day. So we are more than likely not going to get any reversals. So going forward, maybe until when it's a news day. Also today, Powell is speaking at, what is it, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So do expect some market movements. And when he speaks, whatever trend will pick up, it will probably go on for like a week or so. So just be safe if you're trading today. So for me, ideally right now, I am, other than this gold trade right now that I'm personally in, I'm not taking any more trades. Yeah, so going forward, my plan is take one trade on the live session or however many trades we get on the live session, so long as they're valid, and then look for one or two trades using the breakouts. You can see even right now, we have gold is breaking out to the downside. Euro GBP is breaking out to the downside. Euro AUD is breaking out to the downside. The only thing I mentioned about this breakout scanner, do not take two pairs that are going in the same direction. So right now, I wouldn't take both euro. You see, all euro pairs are breaking to the downside, but I wouldn't take a sell on all these three. I would analyze all the three pairs and then find the one that's more likely to go for a sell. So yeah, going forward, my strategy, take trades on the live session, take one or two trades using the breakout scanner and call it a day. That's my strategy, because we have so many strategies, and sometimes if I start telling you guys, oh, look for this confluence on this one, and then on the reversal you need to look for this, sometimes you're just freezing, and not just other people. For me also, I've noticed that I froze a little bit this week, as much as we had all these instruments. So come up with a plan on how you'll be applying all our strategies. If the trade is valid, don't worry about it. Go ahead and jump in. Like literally, you will never become a successful trader if you're always scared about taking a trade. So that's, for me, that's actually even to myself. I've told myself, because I had some fears of jumping in this week. So beginning next week, I'm just going to be, so long as a trade is valid, I'm going to be taking that trade and I call it a day. Yeah, so today is a day of questions, so feel free to go ahead and ask any
I'm
questions
I'm
that
eyeing
you
an
guys have.
AJ reversal. After what you told me yesterday, the candles look pretty clean.
Yeah, don't take a reverse on Friday.
Yeah, that's what I
Especially
was
on a
about to do.
JPY pair. In any case, right
Yeah,
now, my EA is only taking buys on AJ, so
yeah,
I
that's what I was gonna
wouldn't.
say. So I just shoot for the continuation on that instead of the buy
No, no, no.
afterwards.
Don't hop into anything. So
Okay.
for this one, wait for Sunday. Wait for Sunday to look for any reversal, because right now I
All
can
right.
almost guarantee you this is going to keep pumping up. Also, sure, it may reverse, but same thing. You remember that one day, this day that we took this loss on GJ? What was it? This day? GJ kept pushing up. As much as GJ, this was the last Friday of April. As much as GJ was overextended, it kept going up. But eventually, the next week, I think on Monday or Tuesday, we got a nice sell on GJ. Yeah. So for today, do not try to catch any reversal. Do not try to catch any. If you didn't already catch this, so the best time to buy GJ was here. So for me, if I had seen this breakout on GJ, I would have actually bought GJ down here. So don't look to if you already missed this buy, don't buy GJ. Also, don't look for a reversal on GJ for today. At the very least, wait for Monday or Sunday to attempt any trades. So, and this is the other thing I realized. You see, like I think it was OddCAD or US 30. Start looking for trends. If you want to trade on Friday, don't trade on the actual Friday. Look for trades on Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. So if you did that, you could have caught the buy on AJ and you could have already been done for the day for Friday. So yeah, for Friday, you need to realize that Friday, what do we know about Fridays? More than likely,
I would have did the AJ, but I'm trying not to overextend myself. I was in GU, EU, and gold last night,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
said I'm gonna chill out.
yeah.
That's why I missed
So
it.
So that's another thing. And you see all those pairs you've mentioned, it's three pairs that move in the same way. So, all those pairs are positively correlated. So on the other hand, I wouldn't advise you to take major pairs in the same direction. Like for me, I only took gold. As much as we had a reversal on EU, GU, and everything, gold met my standards. That was it. On the other hand, if you want to take all three, I would make sure if your risk per breakout is
Yeah, I wasn't
0.5%.
risking 0.5 on none of those. It was 0.35 was the max.
On what? On
So
one of them or on all of
yeah,
them?
on each.
Okay, so that means you are exposed 1.5%, right? So
Yeah.
you need to do what you also need to do, which is the same thing that I did this week. If you see a reversal on pairs that move alike, okay, know that for me, whatever, for you, have a set percentage for. So for me, like reversals, I risk like 1%. So for my breakout strategy, I risk like maybe 0.5 or 1%. So if each trade for my reversals, because I said I'll only be taking like 2 a day, if each trade for my reversals, I'm risking 0.5%, and then I see a clean reversal for EU, GU, and gold, right? At that point, you know what I would do? I would break down the 0.5% divided by 3. So each of these trades, I would enter with a 0.125 or whatever it is. So instead of entering each trade with 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, or 0.35, 0.35, 0.35, break the same percentage and then enter each trade with 0.135, so that at that point you're not overexposed, you're still sticking. So remember, the risk will always come over anything else. So have a defined risk for each of the strategies you're taking. If you get 2 trades that satisfy that strategy, instead of over risking, I'm not going to call it over risking or over leveraging, because you could have still made 1% or whatnot, but divide. If you get one or two or more trades that are in the same direction or move alike, divide your risk for that strategy by the number of the trades that you want to take, and then move that way. So that if those 3 trades do hit stop loss, you only end up losing 0.5% as opposed to losing, say, 1.5%, if that makes sense.
All right, I
So
got you.
yeah, so be confident that we have all these strategies, even though you miss, even though GU, EU, and AU all go up and you could have made 1.5%, know that, hey, we have this scanner, and at any given time, there's always an entry here. So define like, okay, like how I said, and you guys will see starting next week, I'll be taking maybe 1 or 2 good reversals. If I make like one, and my target will be like 1% a day. So yeah, that would just be, and I want to stick to that and just make it a habit. So that's what I would advise you. Now, sometimes reversals might be too good to miss. So you also want to check on the probability, right? So what was the probability that EU would have hit TP? So for me, gold, the probability on gold hitting TP was so much higher than, say, EU and AU and GU, right? Especially EU, because normally I trade EU. So for example, here, if I normally trade EU here, let's see for a reversal and see if I could have found a reversal on EU. So Euro USD. All right, so the reversal on EU here. Yeah, so for me, I wouldn't have been looking for a reversal on EU. On the 5-minute, that is. On the 5-minute, this right here, these two here are red flags. You have this huge candle. You have these 2 areas where price closed consistently over the 9 EMA. So yeah, this is not a reversal I would have taken. As much as we did get a buy here, personally, I mean, I'm not saying it is a valid reversal. However, for me, it's not a reversal that I could have taken. So, but for these trades, I normally do what? I think 500 for reversal. I do 500 pips here, 500 there. Yeah, would have still hit TP. But for me, I wasn't looking on a reversal for EU because visually it did not meet my criteria. So for me, that's why I focused on gold, and then that's all I had to worry about, and gold met everything. So yeah, also look at probability. So for me, if EU did not have these red flags right here, these 2 areas right here, I would have, at that point, maybe the probability for this trade hitting was like 90%. For me, if I was to take this trade, the probability for it hitting was maybe 70 or so, 70% or so. But if you take off these 2 red flags right here, the probabilities could have been like 90%. Now, at that point, yes, maybe even for EU, I could have also risked 0.5%. So you also want to see the probability, as much as you can have GU, AU, and EU, looking at those for a reversal, also look at, okay, what's the probability for EU hitting? What's the probability for GU and gold hitting, right? Are there any red flags? So if you find that the probability for each is like 90%, then at that point I would say, okay, you don't have to divide your risk between all three. Maybe you can do for each 0.3% each, so that if they all three hit, you're up 1.2%. So also make sure you understand the probability of each trade hitting.
All right.
All right. Any other? I know it looks like it's only two of you guys here today. So any of you
I
have any other questions?
I do got a quick question if that's cool. The gold trade yesterday, I did take that trade, and I may have messed up because we took it on based on the reversal strategy.
Yes.
And so around 2 a.m. I had happened to look at gold and I saw it was at 163.5. So I closed mine because lately I feel like I've been getting trades that go into profit and then they come back out like right before. So I just closed it so I could secure some profit. So then on the breakout scanner, the chart was on there and it showed gold as a buy because the candle at 2 a.m. Eastern time, that's right around where I closed it. There's a bullish candle, and it closes above the 9 EMA, and then the next candle was also really bullish, and it closed above the 9 EMA. So it printed out a buy signal. So I took that buy, and I guess I was just wondering, like, is it because I got the two, like, should I have not messed with like using the reversal scanner and then using the reversal and then using the breakout scanner on the same, basically in the same trade? So I just left it alone, or because I ended up only closing it like 300 in profit because the next candle was a huge like bearish candle that brought it right back down, but that still closed above the 9 EMA.
Okay.
When I was looking at the breakout scanner.
So let me make sure I get this right. You took the buy somewhere down here at 1954.55 with us, right?
Yes.
Then you closed it around 60 something.
Yep, right where your mouse pointer is. The
Okay.
long bearish candles up there at the top. I closed on that bullish candle. I closed on the bullish candle when it hit like 1963 around there.
Okay, when it hit like 1963. Okay. And
Yeah.
then you close that, and then you
The
what
next
did you do?
candle printed a buy signal. So
On what time? And on the breakout
on
scanner?
the 15 minute on the breakout scanner,
Okay.
yeah, it printed a buy signal. And so then I started looking at it. I was like, so I just watched it for the next 30 minutes to see if they closed above the 9 EMA.
So let me ask you this. After you closed this buy on gold right here, did you enter the buy based on the breakout scanner?
Yes.
Okay, so let's find that buy. I'm guessing this is the buy right here.
Yep. That's the candle right there.
Okay, long position, and then how many pips TP and stop loss did you use?
I did 100 and 100, but I mean, I ended up closing it out early because I thought, I don't know, maybe it's confidence, or maybe I just need to let the strategy run for a week. It's only been 3 or 4 days that I've been using it.
Yeah.
But I closed it because I assumed that it was going to break out with those candles and then how it printed that buy signal. And then it went like about 400 into profit. And I was like, well, I'm already up 1,700. I didn't want to burn through the profits from basically letting the trade cook for the past, whatever, 12 hours or however long we had it on for. So,
okay. So I do see, okay. So partly that is also definitely psychology wise. So here's one way to look at it here. So if you're here and here you had 100 pips and you didn't hit TP for the bottom.
pardon?
For the first buy we took, you didn't hit take profit for gold here.
You mean the one that we got stopped out on? Because I think we entered it twice, right?
No. Yesterday we didn't get stopped out. We got stopped out the day before on the 15-minute time frame. This is the trade that I called yesterday.
No, that one I did. I just closed it at 163.5. So I had to set my entry was not 163. My entry was 1955.
Mhm.
So I had a 100 pip stop loss. So I closed it at like 80 pips basically. Because I
Okay.
happened to look at it and saw that's pretty much in my book. I was comfortable with that and I was okay with those profits.
Okay.
You know
Give me
what's
1 second.
what I'm gonna say on that? I'm still working on that. You have to find something else to do when you put a trade in and walk away because I would have probably closed my gold trade early too had I not did that. But I stayed away from the charts once I was confident in the trade. And when I came back, once it was over like a 50% profit, I usually just move my trail stop there. So I'm satisfied with that profit if it hits there. But it kept going up after that a little more. So um, that's what I would say on that because that sounds like a psychology thing that I'm still working on myself.
Yeah, because here for that one trade, as Levi said, you could have either trailed it or when you wanted to close it, you're already 80% in profit. At that point, maybe even secure 80% of your profits and then set break even, right? Either
Okay.
80% or set break even. Also, right, look at, so the same thing I said right now about probabilities, look at where gold was, right? So between, and this is, right, you always get this strategy going forward, or you always get a repeat going forward. If we looked at the hourly, when we did an hourly on gold, right now, if I change this to the hourly, you can see gold was ideally at a support area and it had dipped this whole way. So you need to ask yourself, what is the probability that we'll get a retracement? And that was my logic behind using 100 pips TP and stop loss. This was a heavy area of support. This was a heavy area of support, and gold has been dipping since 2000. And we also, even based on my daily analysis, right, we saw like 1950 area was a good area of support. So knowing 1950 area, just put that in mind. And then, because for me, when I put my stop loss, I always think of, okay, how far can this asset that I'm trading keep going down? So for me, if 1950 was an area to look out for, and my entry was 1955, I definitely want my stop loss to be below 1950. So that's why I use a 100 pip stop loss. And then from that, I know, okay, I'm covered to the downside. I'll hold this trade for as long as I need to till it hits my TP. Now, this entry you entered here for gold on the breakout, that was a valid entry. This gold on the breakout, it was a valid entry because I still expect gold to retrace to the upside. However, if you ask me what's the red flag for this trade, so number one, you already made profit from the reversal down here. So also ask yourself, what session are you trading, right? So I always say, look at the days and look at the session that you're trading. So you know that Friday was coming in the morning. So this trade came up about 2 a.m. So one thing we know about Fridays is before they'll try to fake people out as much as they can before the actual move happens. So if it's for a buy, if they intend to buy gold in the next week, guess what they'll do? They'll more than likely not start trending for a buy right now. They will sell gold in order to trap the buyers who have already hopped into the buy early and stop them out. And then also trap sellers, right? Because that's the smartest thing a market maker can do, trap both people. So as they're trapping also sellers here, they might be showing prices dipping. And personally, I'm in a sell for gold, but I'm closing out on the retest of this trend line because I'm testing out this static trend line. So right now I can see them also roping in sellers, and then for them, they're just leaving pending orders for gold right now that they anticipate to get hit on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So right now, they can fake people out on gold, and then guess what? Maybe bring gold. Remember, we haven't touched 1950 exactly yet. So they can easily drop gold today to 1950 area. And then at that point, maybe 1950, 1945 area, at that point, they've squeezed out all these buyers that are waiting for gold to go up. And then also they trap in sell, and then sellers see, okay, gold is dipping. So let me keep selling gold. So maybe sellers make a little bit of money today. And then guess what? Sometime around 3 p.m. or 2 p.m., then you start having the move back up and it keeps trending, or Sunday or Monday. So you also, so this, for me, this breakout, I would not have taken it today because ideally it was a Friday. So that's another reason why for me, the breakouts, the last breakout that I took yesterday was for OddCAD, and I took it at about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're taking breakouts, especially on Friday, make sure you take the breakout in the trend that's already established. So this, you see, like how I talked about odd JPY. So for me, odd JPY, and also the US 30 trade that I took, odd JPY, this was the best breakout to take at odd JPY, which was about what, about 4 hours ago. So this is a breakout I could have taken. I didn't see that one because I don't trade odd JPY, but US 30, since I trade it, this is why I took the US 30 breakout. As much as US 30 looks overextended and a lot of people would be waiting for this structure to complete. So I do expect US 30 to come back down, but given that it's a Friday, what do I expect? What is more likely in my opinion and experience is this. I expect US 30 to go back up, trend, stop people out, and then next week, then we can have the actual move next week. So that was the premise behind me entering into this US 30 breakout earlier. So yeah, so on a Friday, make sure if you're using the breakout strategy, make sure to look at the overall trend that has been started and only take trades in that particular direction.
Okay.
Yeah, and then be wary of, and make sure you get in early, be wary of what can happen, right? So for that gold trade, it is a valid trade. Gold has been trending to the upside. However, right, make sure your stop loss is far enough such that you can get faked out. If that makes sense.
Okay, my last question is about percentages. So, I mean, historically, I've always traded calculating lot sizes, how much money I want to risk per trade. So when you say like percentage of risk, you're saying the percentage of the risk of, like, if you were on a prop firm, would you be saying like that would be your percentage of risk of like your max daily drawdown, or the percentage of the whole account?
It's the percentage. So if you're on a prop firm, use the percentage of the starting account value. So if you have a 200K, yeah. But if you have a personal account, of course, that percentage should keep up with your current balance, if that makes sense. Because prop firms calculate percentage based on the starting equity, not the balance, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So ideally, like my account, my 200K account might be at 210,000. If I say 5%, normal, when I say I'm risking 0.5%, it just means I'm risking $1,000 because $1,000 is 0.5% of a 200K. However, if I was actually risking 0.5% of the 200 of my account balance and it's above 200K, of course, it might be a little bit over 1,000. But if you have a live account, like a personal fund, a personally funded account that's not a prop firm account, just use your balance because 5%, if you make 5.5% today, a 0.5% gain tomorrow will be higher than it was today, if that makes sense. But for prop firms, just to be safe, always calculate risk based on the initial funded value of your account in order to be safe. All right. Any other person has a question? I have to drop off soon, but you guys have like maybe 5 or so more minutes. Yeah, but for today, honestly, for today, I'll just use it as learning. Same thing I'm doing with gold right now. This is something I'm testing. So right now, today, I'm not interested in taking any more trades. Today, actually, you should just look back and see how could you have taken the breakout for US 30, and especially this indicator right here. Honestly, like, hey, just if you can become good at understanding this indicator, like, you will be golden. I did notice a bug, and it was one of the bugs was fixed yesterday by my programmer. There should be a new version. I don't think I have the new version, but there's still one more thing that needs to be fixed, but I'll go over that next week on the live session. But yeah, if you can become good at the breakout scanner, that is all you need. You don't even need to be with me on the live session. You don't need anything. That is all you'll need. Yeah. Any other questions from anybody? Okay. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so beginning next week, as I said, my strategy will be look for trades on the live session, look for 1 or 2 good trades from the breakout scanner, and then that's it for the day. Reversals, we normally get reversals normally days before news, days after news, so we won't get reversals every day normally, unless you want to use the breakout scanner to scan all of those instruments that we have. So yeah, other than that, unless anybody else has any other questions, you guys have an amazing weekend. I did mention we're going into the summer, so you should expect for the market to start slowing down a little bit, but we are up 0.625 for this week. So, for the month so far, we are still up about 2%, and that's only with the live trade. So if you combine this with the breakout scanner, your return should be, so long as you maintain proper risk management, you should be all set. So, this recording right here just shows you that if you just be consistent every day and look for valid entries, you can do this thing as a full-time thing in like 1 or 2 years. Yeah. But I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.